going on, y'all? It's your boy Wisco Man coming at ya with another reaction video. If you guys haven't already, please be sure to smash that like button down below, hit that sub, and flip them notifications over to all. Now we're checking out some more Upchurch back about 4 months ago or so. Playing my catch up as usual, and yeah, this one's called P. Diddy ? Kiely, Rodni ? And is the true crime community a specific communication system? Oh, this one probably made some people mad. But let's just jump up into it.
Alright, so let's talk about this P. Diddy shit real quick. So according to the internet, apparently yesterday, 2 of his houses got raided for ongoing sex trafficking investigation. One house in Los Angeles, California, and the other one in Miami, Florida. And apparently, when that happened, P. Diddy's plane left from California, then stopped at a chain of islands in the Caribbean, an island called Antigua for gas or something.
Antigua, yeah, I've heard of it.
And it was headed towards a place called Cape Verde.
Interesting. Cabo Verde.
But here's the thing, there's something wrong with that. It's the same source is saying that he was seen at this airport called Opelika on the outskirts of Miami. If he was seen at that airport, then he couldn't have been on his airplane that left California. And here's why. Because if his plane left from Los Angeles, California, then went to the Caribbean to head to a place called Cape Verde, he wouldn't have stopped in Miami. Second off, why would he do that? If his house in California is getting raided and he left from there on an airplane, why would you stop at the other house that's getting raided for the police to intercept you when your plane lands? Not only that, check this out. So 2 of his houses got raided, right? Okay. Why is there only footage of one of his houses getting raided? Not only that, but in the footage they do have of one house getting raided, how is the news helicopter or whatever, how is that in the air ready to go and already filming exactly when the raid's going on, when they're pulling people out of the house? Either that was the most non-secretive raid ever, the high-up law enforcement just chit-chats with the news stations, it's like, hey, guess what? Or the news station is just a fucking psychic or something. It's little details that matter to me.
I mean, I've always thought about that in reference to these, like, high profile raids like this, dude. It blows my mind, you know? But, yeah, man. The other issue I had here is P. Diddy of all people, and there's several other big names we could go with within the hip-hop community. Like, you listen to what these dudes rap about, you know the kind of life they live. I'm not surprised that one of them happened to do the kind of things that this person's being accused of. That I felt like I was the only one that was not amazed by that bust at all. And I'm not saying he did it, but within that community, it does not surprise me. It just doesn't. Like, how is that mind-blowing to people? These are people that brag about never following the rules. What makes you think they would follow that one?
Hey, so here's another little detail. So every news thing that I've seen talking about this is saying that he's headed towards a place called Cape Verde. C-A-P-E Verde. There is no Cape Verde on Google Earth. There's a Cabo Verde. You can type in Cape Verde, but that ain't what it's called on Google Earth. I mean, what are you gonna say? Some people say it different. I mean, you can't spell Tennessee any other way except for the way it's already spelled. Here's what I don't understand. If you get off Google Earth and go to Google Maps, both made by Google, Google Maps has a Cape Verde, has it spelled that way, but Google Earth does not. I don't understand the point of that. Another thing, is it P. Diddy's house? Technically, we need to know, because some sources are saying it's P. Diddy's house. Other sources are saying it's not his house, it's not in his name, it's in his daughter's name, and it's in a LLC called Bad Boy Films. So is it or is it not? Another thing, what's up with the jets? Everybody's like, oh yeah, look, P. Diddy's jet. Why?
On the regards to whether or not it's in his name, I agree with Church on that. However, in regards to these businessmen that have this amount of money and these amount of properties and everything else, between tax sheltering and different things that rich people do to avoid massive taxes, they're not loopholes. They're literally how the rules are written. Myself, like, on a basic end of business, taxes and shit like that, I'm pretty decent at doing them and knowing how to file my taxes in a legal way that costs me less. That's just, so perks of having parents that are well aware of accounting. But anyway, the point is, things get put in other people's names. Maybe he gifted things to reduce taxes, maybe whatever. Like, I don't know.
Is some people posting white ones and some people posting black ones? What color is the jet? I'm not really questioning any of these things. I'm trying to get the viewer who's watching this video right now to notice this pattern. What is up with this pattern? Left, right, red, blue, 1, 2. They raided both houses, but we only got some of this house. It's a black jet. It's a white jet. He stopped it at this airport. He didn't stop at the airport. He's on the plane. He's not on the plane. What is up with this pattern that seems like it's like shittily designed to confuse people who watch the internet? Because that's the thing. If you had solid information that was the true timeline, that people knew what they were talking about, you wouldn't have that many theories about what could have possibly happened. If you have one majorly fucked up, stupid sounding story about somebody, and they actually did something, then there's going to be thousands of theories and thousands of people arguing about what theory of theirs is better. While whatever the person actually did, no one cares because you're too busy arguing about who's right about the fucking theory. Then
Yeah, I don't mind having theories, but to argue about them is just dumb. Like, you should at least recognize that it's a theory. Everybody's theory is just as valid. Sometimes even the really fucking crazy ones are valid, and they end up being the actual true ones.
and if the person actually did something bad that you're theorizing did something, and you're arguing and all these theories are multiplying and everybody's fucking misconstruing the information, then they get away. They get away.
Every time.
Because you spend too much time bullshitting. Like all these true crime channels being like, all we need to do is speculate. Now, how about you just fucking read the facts and just speculate about those facts? And don't speculate about an imaginary thing that coulda, shoulda, and woulda happened. Like, dude, seriously, like 60...
I mean, yeah, I see what he's getting at because I was definitely around it, and I was probably one of the people that agreed with speculating to an extent. But again, I mean, at least stick to the facts.
percent of the true crime channels, do you know what you're actually doing? You are speculating someone's speculation. Do you think you're going to figure out something doing that? And if you're not doing that, you're staying neutral on purpose and not saying or putting any input in and just going with the majority. And I hate to break it to you, but the real investigators don't have investigating YouTube channels. I'm just saying. But getting back to some real shit, that pattern I was talking about earlier, that pattern, I've noticed that pattern about 3 years ago. And the first time I ever seen it was in the true crime community on YouTube. And I was like, what is up with this? If they're trying to figure shit out, why are they trying to confuse motherfuckers at the same time? Then when you're doing the same exact thing as they are, except for you're not doing the whole 1, 2, red, blue, is he over here, is he over here? If you're not doing that, they drop whatever they're doing and they fucking attack the shit out of you, and they say that they're right, even though they're not right or wrong.
Yeah, I will agree with that. The attacking people and expecting them to go along with you, like, that's just dumb. It really is. Like, why attack people who are also trying to give ideas? You know? Like, what makes your ideas more valid?
They're actually giving you multiple things that could be right or wrong. But it seems like they're doing it on purpose, because these fucking individual channels have just popped up in the past 3 years. Like a lot of them. And it's like their job is to fuck the information up that gets out to us. When you're trying to figure out something, it's good to get clues. But when you got 10 million clues, and they're just like, the clues keep stacking up, you're never going to get to the end of it. And that's what I think their goal is. Because now, everyone's able to communicate on the internet. And if the whole world is trying to solve one particular thing, then it would get solved really fast. Unless they just kept adding a bunch of bullshit fucking clues. And I know, church, they've been doing that forever. I know, but I'm specifically talking about the true crime community on YouTube. There's something up with it.
Yeah.
Once again, going back to this pattern. Now,
I will say this too, and I think I get what church is getting at in some aspects. I can think of some channels like that. And then in other cases with other channels, I think it's really just enjoying the hype so much. You know, really, they're obsessed with drama. I mean, that's just, what else can you say? It's one of the reasons why I stopped doing it, is just too much of a headache for me. Sure, I was interested in feeling like I could help on theories in some sort of way, and that's what wrote me in, for sure, but at the end of the day, it was just too much fucking bullshit. I got other shit to do, and it's sad that, like, if you could help in some scenario, that you get steered away by the bullshit.
what is up with this? When you look at the P. Diddy stuff going on, and you look back at the Kiely Rodni stuff and everything that me and my friends found, well, with this P. Diddy sex trafficking stuff that everybody's talking about, it involves 3 states. New York, Miami, Florida, Los Angeles, California. Those are the same exact 3 states that we uncovered a bunch of fucking weird LLCs and fucking addresses that were blurred out on Google, and all this shit was linked to these individual YouTubers that were attacking the fuck out of me because I was trying to do something that everyone else was trying to do, which was solve a YouTube mystery. Well, I think we solved it a little bit too good, because how are they doing the same exact 1-2 pattern, and the same exact 3 states are popping up in the same exact genre or category of serious crime? And what was the main thing we were focused on during the Kiely Rodni shit? A sex trafficking operation. And the closer I got, and the more that I'd done, and the more that I figured out, the more these people were getting irate, these certain YouTubers, to the point where one got so scared that he went to the fucking Caribbean islands. He left Florida, Miami, Florida, which is where he lives. He left there, went to the fucking Caribbean islands. The other YouTuber was a self-proclaimed fucking military drill sergeant lady. Oh yeah, and she apparently worked for NASA. But I made her cry on YouTube because I figured out something. Does that sound like a drill sergeant to you? So you mean to tell me your ass will get in a fucking rocket and go to space, and you'll dodge bullets and train people to be warriors, but your ass don't like criticism on YouTube? Yeah, okay. Now, look at what Grady Judd, the sheriff in Florida, just uncovered about a sex trafficking ring. He said these motherfuckers are calling themselves Air Force members when they're not Air Force members. They're calling themselves cops when they're not cops. He revealed they were using weird terminology that had to do with sports, like one guy who was an amateur golfer wanted to meet up with a golfing pro for sex, bro. What? But yeah, that's what I'm saying. There is a system going on, and the more that people will stop trying to get views and actually look at what's going on and assess what's going on and look at it for yourself and don't worry about talking to a camera, you're going to start figuring out a lot of shit that's going to matter, and the situation will start to be solved. Because right now, if you ask me personally, here's what I think is going on. And like I said, I have shit to back this up. I think they're talking to each other through Google Earth, using green screens and the ability to hack and edit stuff on these green screens they post on Google Earth. Before Google goes and takes its pictures to update the map on Google Earth, they probably got people that go and post up these cheap ass green screens on places like billboards or walls or something, and then that Google Earth car can stop and do it while they're on the route. Then the hacker can come in and hack the actual billboard without paying for it in real life and just use it through the internet, which is where everybody does all their dealings anyway with that shit. All these dark web shit, it's all risen to the surface web, so it's harder to find. And it would be harder to notice if it's a new form of how these motherfuckers talk. And I know what you're thinking, well, why would they do that? Because that is them communicating without incriminating their self. They're advertising digitally through the internet. They ain't got to spend no gas. They ain't got to even get up off their ass. Nor do they even have to speak actual words that will incriminate them. Therefore, they're technically not incriminating themselves if they're not saying anything. Because what do they do usually when they got you all hemmed up? They say, is this your conversation? Is this what you said? How you gonna do that with a green screen? They're gonna hold a picture of a green screen and go, is this what you said? Yeah, it's not gonna work like that. You wanna stop sex trafficking? Okay, well you gotta stop the communication. How do you stop the communication if you don't know how they're communicating? If I say something like this and everybody's like, oh, I thought you're fucking crazy. Well, we gonna wait 20 years to find out they were talking to each other on Google Earth using green screens? Why do you think last year 2 fucking Google Earth cars was in high-speed chases with the police? I mean, come on, man. Their job is to update the map of the world. Why are they running from the cops? I'll leave you on that. If you want to continue this conversation, let me know in the comments below.
Yeah, I agree with them. There's definitely a lot of goofy fucking shit that goes on. And honestly, like that, yeah, I just stopped because of the BS. Like, it's interesting, but it's not interesting enough to deal with that. It really isn't. And people really need to find a way to fucking ground themselves and like just work with others better, I guess. I don't know what else to put to that. That's like, if you haven't noticed, I kind of gloss over with this whole case at this point because I've just gone in and out of it so fucking much that I know there's something shady about it, but I just don't care anymore. It's affected my life too much, but maybe that sounds selfish. If it does, I'm sorry, guys, but that's where I'm at with it. I'll throw an opinion here or there, give you an idea here or there, but I'm not diving into it like I used to. It's just not fucking worth it. I got better things and better things I can do for the world, I think. There's better projects to put me on, and that's just not one of them. So, y'all like this reaction, commentary, whatever, go ahead and smash that like button down below. Thank you guys for commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Be sure to check out Upchurch's page down in the description below. And, as always, I really do appreciate y'all being here. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.